we're going to do the Ruben Amorim stuff now. Obviously, Shakhtar's Manchester United manager. I want to kind of dovetail it into a bit of a conversation again about Arne Slot, but the Chelsea stuff is hard to tack on because I can't 100% decide from the information we've got. Because if Chelsea were just bulleting him, then you can say, I think you can definitively link all of this in together. But because of the fact that it looks like Maresca has, in reality, has decided he wants to go, it doesn't quite sync up, but we'll see if it all comes out in the wash when we go through it. Anyway, yes, ding dong, Amorim is gone.
Well, I was just going to say, Amorim kind of bulleted himself as well.
He did.
Yeah.
Literally, after the end of his press conference, she went, and that'll be that.
It was mic drop territory, wasn't it? Big time.
It was like someone who was dying to leave and escape.
He told them, in 18 months, my contract ends and we'll all go our separate ways.
It was hours,
he said,
18 hours, I think he said, actually.
No. Yeah, I mean, that was wild, man. And the Man United fans were fuming. And at that point, Ineos, for some reason, had to step up.
Why?
Because they don't own the club.
Yeah.
Why are Man United fans fuming?
Because they keep drawing with shit teams.
Oh, right.
You mean the comments?
What are they fuming about?
His comments.
Okay.
His comments in the press
they just
conference.
started to like him as well, is what
Who
I
had?
thought. I thought the United fans had like.
I think there's all
started-
light at the end of the tunnel with Amorim because he decided to not play a back three forever.
Yeah.
He
But then,
decided to adapt.
then the journalists threw that back in his face, and that's ultimately what started it all, isn't it?
And he said, like, basically, I don't want to talk about that.
He went into that press conference with a bee in his bonnet. He had something to get off his chest.
Well,
and you could tell by the way, it wasn't what he was saying. That was one thing. The way he was saying it was very...
went, I'll
Last
do my
question,
job.
whatever this question is, I know what my answer is.
100%, yeah.
He went, I'll do my job. Like, the sporting director needs to do their job. Like, he went into individual people and then went, and at 18 months down the line, we'll all basically never speak again. That's what he was saying.
Staying together for the kids.
Yeah.
A lot of it was
When the
over
kids get to university, I am fucking out of here.
have a happy life. A lot of it was over his title.
Yeah, the
wasn't
manager
it?
thing.
The manager
My
and head
word.
coach thing.
Have you
That
seen
seems
it,
to be
Paul?
the
I
real...
haven't.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that was his real bugbear amongst the whole thing. Like what he was called and what he was signed up to be and what he believed himself to be. It was a whole thing.
I'll be a manager.
I'm
I'll
the
always
manager.
be a manager.
When I signed this
coach, I'm a
contract, I was not
manager.
the head coach. I will be the manager of Manchester United for 18 months and so on and so forth. Like, yeah, it was messy. It just feels like they'd have fallen out with Jason Wilcox potentially. He might have been told there's no more money to spend, whatever. He wasn't happy.
I wonder if you could go back in time now and just maybe not leave at that current moment in sport, and if he was, because obviously he was dragged out of there.
He wanted to stay, didn't he? For
must have
the
been-
end of the year.
I must admit though, like having thinking about it now, I am still a bit surprised because it was only a month ago Jim Ratcliffe was saying he's our man for the next 3 years, and his comments weren't so
Why is Ratcliffe involved?
wild. Yeah, his
not the owner
comments
of
were
Manchester United.
so bad last night that he absolutely, it was like untenable anymore. Like he could have got through it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his results have picked up a little bit. They're 6th in the league, something like that. Yeah, so they're in the round, like they're drastic improvement on last year. So to go from those comments last night to sacking him in the morning, something else has gone on there. Like there's no way that's all.
Well, it's the starting to come out, isn't it? About who's buying the players and what players are being bought, and has he been bought the players for a system, or are Manchester United, Wilcox and stuff, like I guess almost like planning for the future without him, which, let's be perfectly clear, is actually quite smart if they've done that.
Yeah.
If they've bought for a system that's not 3-4-3, then they've given themselves a better platform to get themselves out of this mess the next time around in a way. Because they've spent the last 5 managers buying very specifically for that manager, only to have someone else come in and need something completely different, which is how you end up with the mess that their squad is. But again, if you're Ruben Amorim, you would be like, lads, explain quite clearly what it is. We mentioned the tactical change. He changed it in the win over Newcastle, went to a back 4, and I caught the end of that game on Sky, and Gary Neville was like fucking creaming in his pants, even though they were not great in that game. I thought Newcastle should have got more out of that, but Neville was just going, it's like, feels right, just back 4. It reminded me, Chris, of the end of Roy Evans, where everyone got bored with 3 at the back or wing backs. And we
Why did you look at me there, by the way, Paul? Because they're not.
I remember
it.
Yes. Yes. Because Chloe wasn't fucking born yet. And Dan is a little younger, but might not remember it as clearly. But I remember it vividly, and therefore you are more likely to. Everyone was like, oh my God, stop playing 3 at the back. Stop playing 3 at the back. Stop playing wing back. Go back to 4-4-2. And we did. And it was okay for a bit. But ultimately, it wasn't Roy Evans' bag. We didn't really have the players to get the best out of 4-4-2. So it was going to be a short-lived uplift. And eventually, obviously, Houllier comes in and we move towards that in a 4-2-3-1-ish, etc., etc. And that's it. But that's the thing. Amorim's obviously a talented football manager. He probably could have coached any formation he really wanted to. But if... Yeah, make sure what was the point of changing it?
I don't think he could. I don't think he could have, because I think he spent the last however many years as a coach perfecting his system. And I think you could pick up any Premier League manager that's coached the 4 at the back and they could do it better than Amorim in the short term. Now, over the course of some time, he may be able to catch up, and then his ideas, philosophy, etc. becomes that, and he'll coach it. But like, I think he'd need strong coaches around him who want to coach that way for him to do it, and then in that case he's not really coaching. And apparently he doesn't want to coach anyway.
Suits him down to the ground then. Gary Neville got a mention.
Oh yeah, in the presser.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he got a mention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only
What did he
once,
say?
quite flippantly, basically I believe he suggested that if you want to listen to Gary Neville, then feel free.
Oh.
Yeah.
They paid 11 million euros to get him out of Sporting 14 months ago. They're going to have to pay him a full compensation package for the remaining time on his contract as well.
Luckily he's only got 18 months left. I know that.
The thing about it with the Amorim stuff, Chloe, like since day one, he's been very keen to portray himself as, I've come in to do his job, but these are fucking shit. And I'll do my best with them, but don't forget these are shit. My players aren't good enough. I've not got enough depth. The youth players aren't good enough. The structure of the football club is a bit of a mess. He's been very keen to kind of position himself as a bit of an outsider this whole time. So it's always felt like he's been protecting his own interests the whole way, really. So this is just surely this has been the most inevitable departure of a football manager, because he's effectively been briefing for this since he walked in the door.
Yeah, I didn't think I expected it to happen quite so soon and quite this volatile. But yeah, I guess so. Look, does anyone blame him for basically saying that what he's took over is absolute arse?
Does anyone think he's wrong?
No.
I don't.
No.
I don't.
No, not really.
That's the problem.
He's got crap on his hands, like.
Definitely. But like the flip side of it, Paul, is you use the words there, protecting his interests. That's cool. You're right. But what does that say about the people above you who are still working there and all that? You're actually throwing shade on them, and after a while, they get to the point where they're like, "Well, I'm not fucking. Why'd you keep? No, fuck off,
Yeah,
go."
that's a good point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He lowered. We've seen Roy Hodgson come into Liverpool and lower expectations, but he did that in such a weird way. I mean, in fact, we've definitely said this in the past. The squad that Jurgen Klopp inherited definitely had some really good players in it, and he got a great tune out of it. But he was so positive when he walked in. Mm-hmm. He was like, "I love these players; these are great." And there were clearly issues all over the place. But he came in and he accentuated the positive. He was like, "Look at what I've got here! Wow, I've been dying to work with Lallana, and I wanted Origi at Dortmund, and this player, I want these. Oh, great." Behind the scenes, he was clearly going, "Fuck me, these are slow. These are really slow and really unfit, and I've not got a goal scorer, and I've not got all these kind of things." But he just G'd it up with us. Amorim just took the exact opposite approach from minute one.
But the thing is maybe as soon as he, maybe even in the, the conversations that actually get him to become manager, he realised already that this is great for my career in terms of like, I get the spotlight on me and
United on your CV.
Yeah, I can always have that on my CV. I mean, not that he needed more money, but money as well. And he probably thought what they're going to do is they're going to buy me every other lad I need for my system, because that's what they've done previously. So there was some positives there. But from the very first day, he probably realised the same fate is going to happen to me, what has happened to every other manager here, because this is just far too much work to do. So he obviously went in there thinking, right, well, I need to make sure I look as good as possible. Lower the expectations, so if we do well, it's not that bad, and if we do absolutely horrendous, it's not like I can say I've only been here for so long, the crap is already here, I'm trying to
not my fault.
sort through it individually.
It's so modern politics. You come in and go, it's what's all the best guys,
shit
But I just didn't expect, like, I don't know how it's gone from him basically just calling out everyone above him and saying they're all crap and need to be better at the jobs, and that, like, he can't wait to get out of here. Like, what has happened since his last press conference that has caused
that's
that?
what I mean. One thing it definitely does show us that they believe Wilcox to be the man, rightly or wrongly, because how many have they had above in recent times, sporting director-wise or other positions, they've come and gone. Like Dan Ashworth left in not so long ago. But if they've chosen, if Amorim's
they can't get rid of him again though after the
but if
one.
If Amorim's calling out Wilcox essentially publicly in a press conference, and they've
that's
sacked
because he's
Amorim,
trying to buy Wilcox and fucking Ripley fucking wingers like a 4-4-2 on the three at the back manager.
But if their response to that is to sack the manager, they're putting an awful lot of stock in the sporting director.
And also, like, maybe
Blackburn Rovers side 1998.
You have to explain it. The joke's not landed. It's fine. It landed with who it was going to land with. It's fine. Yeah. Look, on him though, it does remind me a bit of, like, I think, again, go back to the Klopp point, is that it's confidence in your own ability. And it does always feel like, again, goes back to a level of self-interest, protecting his brand, look at it and going, taking this job. I mean, like, if you didn't think you could make a good fist of it, don't bother. Like, don't take it. Stay at sport and finish the season, win the treble or whatever, and then have your pick. The fact that the Athletic put in the article, they brought up the fact that he interviewed for the West Ham job and then later basically apologised for wasting everyone's time for doing it. He said it was a mistake. You
want to see the apology he's got with Man United then?
But it's a bit like, again, it's one of those things. What's your end game? So I kind of thinking about in what environment would you ever do that? You know, you were setting out to achieve something, but you made the world around you know that what you were basically about to trying to achieve was impossible. And I was thinking about, like, claw machines at the arcades being like that thing, but you can win at those. But you know it's going to cost loads of money, but you really need to focus and you need to lock in and you need to decide, I'm going all in on this and this is going to be my focus until I win. And it just got that impression a bit like he's gone. I do it now with one of the kids going, you can put £1 in. And if you don't win the quid, we'll fucking sack it off.
We're going to Argos to buy it for half the price.
I may as well. You'll get more entertainment from me throwing this pound up in the air and seeing where it lands in reality, because I'm throwing a pound away one way or the other. And that was my sense with him of, like, you just never got the vibe that he felt he was the man to take them forward. And I think United fans fell for it because it was different.
Because he looked different on the
It was honest, and he was saying the things that they were seeing. But at some point, again, it's like a new government coming in. At some point, you've got to stop blaming the mistakes of it's yours now. Yeah. You've now got to run with what you've got, you know, and it
was one or two things.
Cowardly, I think, a little bit, rather than just kind of just owning the situation.
Possibly, but maybe
putting himself in front of it.
Maybe he regretted his decision once he got there and seen just how bad it was, because you've heard everyone talk about it. Ralph Rangnick, I think it was, said needed open heart surgery as a football club, and maybe, well, it can't be that bad, I'll take the job anyway. Then you get there and you go, wow, this is a mess. So maybe there's a little bit of that, and then he starts thinking self-preservation, need to protect my own interests here, etc., etc. Or the flip side of that is he was so confident, this is less likely, in his own skills and abilities as a manager, he thought, if I tell everyone this is shit and yet still do a good job, I'll look even better.
Well, there is it's a Star Trekism, so forgive me for this one, but like Scotty, people are familiar with Scott, beam me up Scotty, Star Trek. So his character's line is, if the captain asks him how long something's going to take to fix the engines, he tells him it's going to take twice as long as it does. So when you do it half the time, you look like a miracle worker. And that's what Amorim's tried to do. He's gone, this is the impossible job. So that in 18 months, when he's walking out with like his trophies or whatever, he's like, look at me, best manager on earth, I turned this shit show around. Maybe we're giving him too much credit. Maybe he just, you're right, maybe he just signed the contract, and maybe he had like a John Obi Mikel moment, but couldn't get out of it. You know, he signed the deal and then went, no, this isn't for me. And they go, no, got ya. Fuck.
That was a clip from the Biased Football Podcast. To check out the whole show, head to redmenplus.com or click the link in the description.